Well, hey there, everybody. It's me, Esther Bartkiw. Today I want to talk to you about the upcoming solar eclipse, which is happening in the sign of Sagittarius. It's a total solar eclipse on December 4th, 2021 at 7:33 a.m. That is universal time. You will only be able to see the total solar eclipse if you are in Antarctica. If you live in the southern portion of Africa or in the South Pacific, New Zealand, Australia, you will see a partial solar eclipse. The rest of us, well, we're not going to see it, but we are going to feel it. Yes, we are. This one's going to be very intense. If you thought that the full moon eclipse was a little bit flowy and easy and breezy, which is my experience I had, what I suspect from the information that I'm getting is that the solar eclipse is going to rock the world of more people. All right. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther Bartkiw. I'm a core belief therapist, intuitive and energy reader. I'm a fan of astrology, quantum science, and now I'm all about getting right with the light. Wow, that is changing my life. I am teaching the story of light for free on my Telegram channel. The link, I believe, is in my link tree. If you can't find it there, just reach out to me and I'll send you a personal invitation to join us. So welcome back. I want to share with you how I do these energy readings, because sometimes people email me and say, Esther, can you do my chart for me? I'm not an astrologer. I don't do charts and things like that. But I do know that what happens in the cosmos energetically influences us here on Earth. So I do energy readings. I sit down, I find out what is happening in the cosmos. Anybody can get that information online. And then I ask, okay, the people who access my material, what do they need to know about this? I do pretty much daily energy updates on social media. And then every once in a while, when we have a big event like the eclipses, I'll do a more in-depth energy reading. So I just wait until the information starts to come. When it comes, I write, I take notes, and then I write it or do a video for you to fill you in so that you'll have some information to consider to navigate the cosmic waters. Okay, so just a reminder, what is an eclipse? It's a universal cosmic energy that initiates change in our lives. Sometimes that change is, oh wow, like, surprise, you're pregnant, or wow, I got the promotion, or will you marry me? Wow, or, a pile of money comes into your life, something. It can be a really, oh wow event. And sometimes it can be like, oh no, oh no. But these are pivotal, life-changing events that are, I like to say, like course correction. That maybe you wandered down a path that is not for your highest and best. It's actually taking you further away from your desired manifestation, from your soul's purpose, from your heart's desire. But you decided to wander down that path. And even though universe has been saying, Esther, we got to get off this path. We got to get off this path. And, God universe is sending me information. Esther, take a right here, take a right here, take a right here. But I'm ignoring it because I'm going along this path. Then eclipses will course correct you. Okay. If you look back in your life, I suspect you will find that a lot of major life events happened during an eclipse season, or the energy was seeded during eclipse season, because sometimes we don't have a big boom on eclipse day, but there's a seeding of energy that will unfold over the next months. And you can trace it back and say, oh yeah, I can see that started during eclipse season. I've had many of those. So I take eclipse season quite seriously, but also have fun with it, because I'm at a place now, thank goodness, where I know and I coach my clients that whatever shows up for you is ultimately for your highest and best. So make the most of it. Make the most of it, even if it's a little bit of a harsh wake-up call, which it could be this solar eclipse season. All right, so let's talk about it. All right. The solar eclipse in Sagittarius. Now, this is ending a cycle of eclipses that we have had on the Gemini Sagittarius axis since May 2020. Okay. So something that was started or seeded back then, May 2020, is now either unfolding, it's developing, or it's coming to an ending. Maybe that was about 18, 19, 20 months ago. So it's coming to an ending so that you can have a new beginning, because a solar eclipse is a new moon. New moons are about new beginnings, but this solar eclipse is going to initiate an ending so that you can have that new beginning. All right, because there's got to be an ending first. And the themes of Gemini and Sagittarius are information. Information is going to be really big in this eclipse. Beliefs, philosophy, communications, community, adventure. Okay, but I really see information, that information world. So the first thing I would suggest to you is to reflect back to May 2020, what was seeded, what was started. You know, maybe you had an aha back then, maybe you started something. It's something's coming to a head, it might be coming to an head to end. It might be saying, ooh, you've done really great. Now let's expand it to the next level, because that Gemini Sagittarius energy is about expanding. Or it could be, Esther, you got the information back then, and what have you done with it? Nothing. Okay. You get a shake up, a wake up call. It's time to do something about it. All right. So think back to May 2020. What might have been presenting, what might have ended back then, what might be a new beginning. There's a cycle that's being completed. All right. We're really arriving at a new point in our lives, integrating the changes since that May 2020 eclipse season. All right. And the changes could be your beliefs, your morals, your values, a patterning, a behavior. Maybe it was a cycle, a work cycle. Maybe it was a health and well-being cycle, and you're moving on to something else, or you're expanding into something even greater. I do see for a lot of people, you were doing really great work, but now, hey, let's level up. There's something even greater than this, and that's pretty exciting. Now, also keep in mind, May 2020 was when the world slowly started to come out of that worldwide lockdown. Remember, it was March 15th or the end of March where the world locked down, right? It was supposed to be 2 weeks to flatten the curve. That's all I'm going to say about that. And then by about May, some of the countries started to slowly open up, okay? And so much has happened between then and now. Now, some people over these last months, let's say 20 months, really saw, wow, I've got to make some changes. I have to make some shifts in my life, in my work, in my business, in my health practice, my well-being, my relationship circles. Sometimes people were forced to make changes. Like, I live a nomadic lifestyle. I wasn't able to, just jet off to, I want to go to this country and spend 3 months here. I've had to make changes with that. I've had to make changes in my business practice. Not so dramatic because I was already online, but some people had to move right online. Some people lost their jobs and had to find new work. So there's been a lot of changes that have happened over these last months, and some people were right on it and say, I've got to make changes, and they've done it. Some people didn't. They stayed put. They stayed inside. They wrapped themselves up in a blanket. They had their takeout food. They did their online shopping. Some people, unfortunately, are still in that mindset, in that patterning. They're still living that. For whatever their reasons are, this eclipse may create a shake-up to wake up for them. Some people really saw, I've got to make change in my life. All right, we're not going back to where we are. We're creating something new. I want to create it the way I would like to live it. I need to make some change in my life, but they're afraid. They have beliefs that are standing in the way, right? And so this solar eclipse may say, we need to work on those beliefs. All right, we need to work on those beliefs and get you going. So this is happening to each of us individually. Look at your personal life, but it's also happening to the collective, right? I really see we're coming to an end of the year and there's going to be a collective energy of, oh my God, what are we doing here? And I really see that more people are going to wake up. At the same time, more people are going to lock into their status quo position because of that fear. You know, in my circles, we work on our beliefs. We see a belief, we see it's a limiting belief, we work on it, we change it, we work on the limiting patterning, and we move forward. But not everybody is like that. Some people have a belief and a fear, and they just dig into it. All right, so that could be happening as well. But again, that's what eclipse energy does. It comes along and says, sweetheart, no more, no more. And, you know, sometimes it's a gentle whoof, and sometimes it's more of a knock around to get a realization to, and I always say, to shake you awake. All right, so something's going to come to a head during this solar eclipse, whether you are ready for it or not. I hope you're ready for it, because when you're ready for it, if you've been moving along and making shifts and changes and doing your inner work and checking your beliefs, and you embrace change and you know that everything works together for good, when something comes along, even if it's unpleasant, you're like, ooh, I really don't like this so much. You're like, okay, but what am I going to do with it now? What am I going to do with it now? And so if you're on that path, this solar eclipse could bring you a new opportunity. Like I said, I think you're expanding into something even greater. It can be really fun. It can make the changes a lot easier. If you have been resisting change, this eclipse could be a little bit more difficult for you. It really depends where you are on your personal journey. Okay, everybody is different. What I do get, and you know, I'm always honest with what I get. I've been doing these readings for a very long time. I do personal readings for people, but I do these energy readings as well. They're pretty accurate. I do get that a harsh ending is coming for a lot of people. Okay, and again, that's not meant to scare you. That's meant to say, you know what, something unpleasant you don't like might be coming down the pipeline. It may not happen on solar eclipse day. It might happen on the lead up. We're in the lead up right now. It might unfold over the next 40 days after, but something's coming. So just be aware so that you can make good choices and good decisions and make adjustments along the way. All right. A total solar eclipse is when the sun is completely blacked out and then the light comes back. So that is going to add to the impact of this. Okay, it's a solar eclipse, an ending for a new beginning. It is a total solar eclipse, so it's going to be more impactful. It's an eclipse ending a cycle. And then it's the end of the year. And the end of the year, emotions are always heightened at this time of the year anyhow. There's a lot of pressures and holidays, and you're thinking about the new year ahead and what I created and what I didn't do, and another year has gone by. So there's a lot of emotion happening. So this, I really see this could be quite an emotional solar eclipse. All right. So I received a little bit more information of what might show up, especially in the 40 days after eclipse. So when we have an eclipse, we experience the energies for up to 6 months until the next eclipse season. But we notice the eclipse energies most impactfully on the few days before the lead up and 40 days after. And what I really sense as I was sitting with the information is in those 40 days, we're really going to be asked to do another deep dive in of the next layer of our triggers, of our wounds, of trauma. Now, if you did the nervous system program, right? Releasing trauma from your nervous system program. I did that in the fall. You will recall that what trauma is unexpressed emotion. Trauma is not the event. Okay, the event could lock in trauma. So you have a situation, you have emotion, but in the moment you did not express it. It got locked in your body. And that program was all about giving you tools to help you to unlock that trauma. All right. So if you did that class with me, go through those tools. I really believe you're going to need it for the solar eclipse. If you would like me to run that program again, just pop me a comment. If there's enough interest, I'd be more than happy to. It was really great. I think I gave about like 37 different tools that you can use anytime, anywhere. Most people wouldn't even notice that you're using them to release trauma. You may have your own tools. I do believe I did some videos on that as well. But what I really see is unresolved issues, trauma, this unexpressed emotion, what we sometimes call wounds, are going to be flushed out to the surface in this solar eclipse. All right. And then, as I mentioned in the last video, is I really see that individually, as collective, maybe within your family, maybe companies, are undergoing another review of morals and values and what's important to you in your life. And end of the year is really good as we're heading into a new year. All right, so here's some of the questions as I was writing down the information that came through that would be really great questions for you to reflect on, to meditate on. So where and how are you lying to yourself? Denying yourself. Okay, we do that all the time. Oh, that doesn't really matter. But it does matter. And we say, oh no, that doesn't matter. That's small. That's not significant. We turn our attention somewhere else. But no. Where are you lying to yourself or denying yourself? Okay. Where are you not being honest with yourself and with other people in regards to your intentions, in regards to your motives, in regards to your stance on things? Okay. Beliefs will be shaken again. Okay. So you get to decide if you have a belief that is shaken. You get to decide, will I continue to ignore this new piece of information that I've gotten, this new truth, this new awareness? Am I going to continue to ignore it, which is a denial, not being honest with yourself? Or am I going to face it, knowing that it may require change in my life? All right, that's what this eclipse is going to do. Or are you going to stay in the status quo? All right. If you're watching this, I know you have a certain level of awareness. I know you have a desire to do your inner work, to expand yourself, to move into greater consciousness. So these are really great questions for you to contemplate. All right. Because I do believe that whatever shows up, if you say, I'm going to face this, I'm going to look at this, I'm going to assess it, I'm going to review it, the expansion, the change that is going to come is going to be really great for you. Okay, eclipses just do that. They initiate really great change. Where do you stand? Where do you stand on certain issues, on certain ideas, on certain concepts, on certain rules? Where do you stand on them? What stance are you willing to take? And then about expressing that stance. You know, sometimes we say, well, this is where I stand, but I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm going to really keep quiet about it. Maybe it's time to start expressing the stance, your position. Okay, I think that's going to be important for a lot of people. Okay, so this is what I'm receiving as regards to information on the upcoming solar eclipse. Okay. And then just as a reminder, right now I am running that Manifest with Your Future Self manifesting process. It is a special opportunity offer I'm running right now, and it comes to an end the day after the eclipse on December 5th. And, you know, we are in a season of change right now, and working with your future self, the you that is living the changes that you desire, to find out how you got there is a great manifesting tool. Okay, sometimes people don't think about it this way. It's a great manifesting tool. So the moment that you dream or you wish or you can conceive of something, oh, I see my dream home that I want to live in. It's by the sea and it's 2 stories and it's got a wraparound porch and I'm, within driving distance to stores, but I'm a bit secluded, so I have privacy and I get to see the sunrise or whatever it is. The moment you can conceive it, there is a you living that dream energetically in the ethers, right? Your future self, where you're heading, should you choose down the path to manifest that and pull that into your reality. And you manifest by aligning with your desires. You align through your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, your emotions, your actions, your concepts of reality, your vibration. Okay, so we work on that level. But this process, I help you to connect with that you that is already living the dream. And once we connect with that you, we find out, hey girl, how'd you get there? What were the steps that you took? Who did you lean on for help? What did you have to learn? What did you have to get rid of? What was standing in the way that you had to say no more? What new did you have to embrace? What obstacles came up and how did you overcome those obstacles? Is there anything you would have done differently now that you've created that? And what was the first step that we took? And by getting all of this information, you will have like a guidebook. You'll have a blueprint of steps that you can take to create this desire, right? When you do the session, it's a one-on-one. It's not a class. It's a one-on-one with you and I. It's about 90 minutes, but I do ask that you set aside 2 hours just in case we're in the groove, we're getting information. Let's not stop. Let's gather all the information possible. I use the instant teleseminar system so I can offer you a recording. So in the middle of the session, you can just be there present in the moment, receiving the information as I facilitate the process for you. And then after, you can go back and you can take notes to get all of your steps. All right. And it's one of my favorite specialty processes that I do in my core belief practice of helping you create an inner world that is going to be supportive of the life you want to live and experience in your outward reality. I will put a link below where you can get more details, more information, sign up as well. End of day, December 5th, this special pricing goes away. You can book the process with me at any time at my regular pricing, but I wanted to do this for all of you at the end of the year as we're moving into a new year. You'll come to the process with 3 things that you can envision in your life. Why 3 things? So we can really zero in on getting information about those 3 things so that you'll have a very specific guidebook rather than something really general. Somebody asked me, what if I can't envision it? I would say, can you feel it? Can you sense it? Because you have to see yourself, feel yourself living that in order to create it. And if you are in a place where you're not yet seeing or feeling that which you desire, you're saying, well, I really want it, but I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't feel it. That just tells me there's beliefs in the way. So maybe you and I can do some belief work before we engage in this future self process. There's lots of possibilities of how we can work together to help you to create the life that you desire. Anyhow, I'm going to put a link below. And if any additional information about the solar eclipse comes up, I will post it on my energy updates on social media, Instagram, Twitter. I'm still on Facebook for the meantime. And my newsletter, of course, that's always the best way to keep in touch with me, just in case any of the social media goes down. But right now, I wish you a successful solar eclipse. Success meaning that you take notice of what's going on and you respond consciously to whatever presents and use it for your highest and best. All right, everybody, until we meet again, ciao for now. Make the most of this beautiful day.